Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Harley lovers around the world, welcome to the Knuckles Up podcast, presented by Sykes Harley-Davidson. Knuckles Up is a dive into the world of all things Harley, recorded at the illustrious Sykes Harley-Davidson, the South Coast premier destination for Harleys. We are nestled in the beautiful Sussex South Downs. That's a mouthful. There you go. There's a blooper to start off. I can't even get my intro right. Nestled in the beautiful Sussex South Downs. We often might do that as a tongue twister for listeners. How many times can you say Sussex South Downs? Anyway, Knuckles Up podcast. Welcome everybody. I'm Elliot from Sykes H-D. I'm going to be your host through this journey, this wonderful journey of hikes. Again, I can't get me words. See, this is our first one, and we're messing up already, but it's fine because it's only Steve, so we're all good. As I said, I'm Elliot from Sykes H-D. I will be your host through this wonderful journey of Harley-Davidson. I keep wanting to say Sykes Harley-Davidson. We're off to a great start. Anyway, the Knuckles Up podcast will be dropping on the last Friday of the month. You can watch and subscribe over on the Sykes HD YouTube channel, and you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. So we've got a few little bits of features, some various stuff, but for the most part, we are, of course, going to have some awesome guests in the show over the coming months. But to kick things off, keep it nice and simple, and as we are here at Sykes HD, we have got dealer principal of Sykes Harley-Davidson, Mr. Steve Willis. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Elliot. I'm very excited to be part of Knuckles Up. Great brainchild of yours, really, to make sure that we've got alternative things always going on. And I
like how I say welcome to Knuckles Up. we are sat in Steve's office. Just for anyone watching at home, this is like, it's smoke and mirrors. There's just absolute chaos on the other side of the camera that we can't show you.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
But you're welcome to come in and see it.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to come and see the chaos of, what actually goes into the real world of podcasting, because this is our first one, we're sort of winging it. See how we get on. Anyway, so for everybody at home, Steve, give us a synopsis of Steve Willis for anyone that doesn't know who you are or what you do.
Well, it's I'll give you a quick rundown of who I am, how I got to be here. So Steve Willis, 53 years old, I think. Yeah,
look great for your age.
53 years old. Thank you. I've been at Sykes Harley-Davidson now for, I think it's my 21st year, if I can do my maths. So I opened in November 2002. I was here when the doors opened. We were finding our feet, and I've had the whole journey through to the current day, and helped, I hope, to put us on the map, to make sure we got the right team. My job is overall responsibility of the dealership, of each department, making sure that we offer the best service that we can, from sales to workshop to parts. Working with a team that I'm really proud of. Love the brand, love the people, the family, love everything about Harley-Davidson, and always, looking at different angles, I guess, with your skills, Elliot, of course. That's why you're here and why you're hosting, and we're learning a lot off you, which helps bring us into the forefront of Harley and what the experience is about. So I'm all about the lifestyle, the community, the quality, the brand itself, and just loving every day. I always joke, one day I might have to get a real job. I hope not. I'll probably be here on the shop floor with my Zimmer, still connecting and speaking to customers. It's my thing. It's my second family, if you like.
So 21 years, you obviously didn't come in as dealer principal. What was the start of your journey at Sykes?
I guess, well, when we first started, we were doing specialist turf machinery. So like the John Deere kind of rival. We were on Toro, Kubota, Hayter. And I came in as service manager to run that side of the business. Look after a team of technicians, look after high-end clients like Wentworth, Sunningdale, the high-end golf clubs and football stadiums like Fulham, for instance, Wimbledon, we were looking after, very high-end specialist turf care. So with that, the business, because of where we're located, for those who don't know, we're on a main road, the A22. It's next to a goat's farm. It's quite rural. It's a destination dealership. So with that and the site itself, it was like desperate, really. It was like the place to have something more than just PDI'd equipment waiting to go out. So the boss at the time, John Shaw, and his directors were looking at different alternatives to add to their business at the time, and Harley-Davidson came about. So with that Harley-Davidson coming about, it soon had momentum, and we soon had the Harley dealership. So going back to the question, with my skills in the service side, I was going to run two. Then the two split. John sold off the John Shaw machinery side, and I was then sort of service manager of Shaw at the time. I then were very, sales is kind of like deep in me, I guess, like connecting with people, my interest in people, and trying to deliver a high-end service. And that's just been inbred, I think, with me being part of a family business in the motor trade. Back from when I was 16 years old when I grew up, because my father had the business, I grew up in a smelling of petrol and like messing about with cars and looking after people. But I always wanted to take it further. I'm jumping around a bit here, but I'm just trying to give you
we're good at tangents
an idea.
Here, aren't we?
So I was on service, but I had this like the sales side of things kept pulling me over, and because I cared about people, I was looking after people, and we're so new, and I put the hours in. I soon became kind of like general manager, sales director, and then after the years developed dealer principal, and then when John Sykes bought the business in 2017 late, I became the MD of the business. So kept my dealer principal's role, but had the entirety of the business to be responsible for in a high end way. So that's my journey. I made myself available, I guess, through being super keen, loving the brand, and making myself available all hours that there was.
I mean, it's quite the jump from John Deere farm machinery to one of the most iconic brands out there with Harley-Davidson. I mean, how was that as a transition? Like, did you find it was easier to kind of get into the brand as such?
I actually think it was an advantage for us, because when I talk about the Wentworth Golf Clubs and Sunningdales, we were dealing with superintendents and greenkeepers and committees, and they are on obviously such a high level of expectation with the care in their grass and how they look after the 18 holes, etc. It was kind of like, if we can look after them, then we can look after anyone, because the expectations of what they would want on a Friday afternoon at 4 when a greens mower has leaked oil on the 18th before a World Cup or something. You had to really work hard. And I'm not saying Harley-Davidson's you have to work hard, but I knew what their expectations were, and we could deliver. So we had to work hard to do that. So then when you're delivering a service in the retail environment, it was quite easy switch over, because you kind of what is it that you overachieved expectations a lot. So we carried on that, and we still are. We're not the best at 100% of the time, but we do our best to be the best.
Yeah.
But we make mistakes like everyone else, but we put our hands up and sort them out. But that transition was easier than it sounds, because of the equipment we were selling was high end, even though it's cutting grass and pushing holes in soil. It was super expensive.
Yeah, you never sort of think, prestige when it comes to lawnmowers and stuff. But
you don't. But then if you've got you got a push along mower that costs 10 grand sort of thing. You got a fairway mower that costs 160 to 100 grand. It's the expectations of service, after sales, care, sales packages, everything like that. It's set us up, I think, to represent Harley-Davidson the way we do as an independent.
So as far as like your journey with Harley, like you said, 21 odd years, you've come from Shaw when it was, and then obviously with John Sykes coming on board, you know, how do you see that your journey through Harley like has evolved sort of through the years? Because you've obviously seen, you know, the evolution of the brand with new, you know, directions for the companies coming through, you know, new motorcycles, things like that. Like, how has it been for you and your personal journey sort of over the last 20 years with Harley?
It's been, yeah, like everything. I think age helps with experience, and I've you know, coming on, I guess, or was I like 29, 30 when I joined John Shaw? I guess I was still a young man, if you like, who was able to grow in the positions that were made available to me. And yeah, I've always been one who's been hungry to grow and quite ambitious, I guess, to be the best and to offer the best service we can. So yeah, I think the years that go by give you those layers and that experience. You've made the mistakes and you've learnt from the mistakes, and then you can offer that to your team because you've been there, you've done that. So I think that's been, you know, the years going by obviously has been a strength in knowledge and service. Other than that, seeing that Harley-Davidson, yeah, I've seen the models from selling 2003 anniversary bikes back when we first opened to selling Milwaukee 8s and Pan Americas and the new Revolution Max engines and everything. It's yeah, again, it's been super interesting, keeping you sort of really you know, glued to the brand, because there's always new stuff coming out, but then they still hold true the nostalgic flavors and the history of Harley-Davidson. So I'm glad they're doing that. But yeah, I'm waffling here, but it's been, yeah, the time, like anything, the more time you spend at something, hopefully the better you get. And
yeah, definitely.
Hopefully that's
progression through repetition is always sort of the mantra in a way. So a big part of obviously with Sykes here, you know, the reputation of Harley-Davidson as a whole, whether listeners at home are familiar or not, but speed and custom is a very integral part of Sykes Harley-Davidson. Give us a bit of insight into what speed and custom is and where that came about.
Well, speed and custom probably came about in about 2009 when we were given the opportunity to build something more than an accessorized, customized Harley-Davidson. So, you know, we'd been through the gangster Fat Boys with the Fat Daddy wheels, lowered suspension, beach bars, sprung seats. You know, we'd been through the book really, you know, changed wheels on bikes and made people's bikes look really individual. But it was Harley-Davidson. There wasn't fabrication. There wasn't much aftermarket, I guess, that we indulged in until we built the first bike for someone called Strike True, which was a Crossbones that we, you know, took back to, again, a more nostalgic look. The guy that we built it for was super happy with it, really pleased with it, and he had the appetite to go further and have more. So we then built Strike True 2, and that was our World Championship winning bike in 2010. Basically, this bike was, again, a Crossbones. It had Fred Kruger influences, who's I think a Belgian builder, quite well known, and it was like a bit of a tribute to him, you know, in a way, because we were influenced quite greatly from the bikes that he'd built, and the customer really respected what he did. So it was a beautiful sort of pale blue 1940s-esque bike. You know, it still had a 200 rear wheel and a 21 in the front, but it had the spokes, but the detail was immense. You know, mirrored finished tank on both sides where the sort of paired drop sits, if you like. Sprung solid seat, cool bars, spring and front end. And Neil, our custom builder, just took it to another level. You know, it went to the London Championships, because like there was an AMD Championships at the time, and it was really big on like custom side. 2010 up to about, I guess, 13 or 14. And it won the championship there, and it got a sort of Willy Wonka golden ticket to be shown at Sturgis, which was amazing. And we thought, yeah, it's Sturgis, and we knew Sturgis, but we just thought it was just one of many sort of thing. And to our surprise, I guess we should maybe be more confident in what we build. It won the World Championships of Harley-Davidson Modified, which was massive for us.
And that was the first time that a bike builder, was it outside of the US,
that's right,
come away with a trophy.
Yeah,
from
the
that.
first time a Harley-Davidson dealership had ever won, and someone from Europe and that. So that was amazing. And then we got some, I guess, interest on that, articles on that, and then we built other bikes like Mission Impossible, and what else did we build? Like the Nescafe Racer for Bell & Ross watches, the Bat bike. We just had a massive order book, and they were going all over the place, like Switzerland, Milan, Paris. We actually handed over a Scrambler style Sportster in Paris, Harley-Davidson, to the customer. It was surreal sort of thing. Built ST3, which was a really iconic Sportster, which was the knobbly tyres, which I think we were one of the first to put knobbly tyres onto Sportsters, and it then had a trend. Then we have many sort of smaller projects with the same silhouette. We just had like a whiteboard just chock. I don't know how we coped, to be honest, because we had all these bikes going everywhere. People were sending their bikes. I had an Australian client who sent a 48 over from Australia, from Perth, for us to build and send back. I mean, that was a really massive project. It's huge. And so Speed and Custom then gave people, I guess, confidence in us as a dealership. If we can build something like that, then they like to buy their Sportster and have a city bar fitted by us, and they like to buy their Softail and do some handlebars and that, because the confidence was there from seeing our portfolio of custom builds. So it's still going on today. We haven't got the immense number of projects, but we tend to probably cherry pick more what we want to do, because of the time, the involvement, the depth to it, the responsibility of it. Because we've grown as a dealer over the years, obviously 7 technicians now. I think we're going to end up with, when we have our extension on the workshop, I think we counted like 21 bike bays when we do the extension. So there's 5 more going in. There's 6 in a warehouse. This is for valeting as well, for refurbs. And then we've got 10 bike benches in the main workshop. So, we're growing like that. But, we're just busier in general.
So that prowess and prestige that obviously we're speaking custom off the winning a world championship of bike building, there's also the prestige and kind of the awards that come from just being a Harley dealer as well. I mean, so as far as Sykes and being a successful brand as such within the Harley network in the UK, you guys have won the Bar and Shield for 6 times. 6
Bar and Shield awards.
So the Bar and Shield, for anyone at home that isn't familiar, that is effectively Harley's award for service and how good a dealer that you are. You have Dealer Network awards.
It's a real detailed point scoring system on every level of your dealership, and we've come runner up for many years. But it's a tough one to win. In that respect, because you can just lose points on little areas that it's hard to focus on.
But then I think there's also there's to note that there are some great dealerships out there. I mean, West Coast up in Scotland.
Hats off to West Coast. Kudos.
Hats off to the guys at West Coast. Shout out. I think for me, being sort of new to Sykes as a whole, I mean, I've just been just over a year and 4 months. I think I've been here for, and to kind of get engrossed into sort of Harley as a whole and sort of see.
You haven't really said what you do. You should do.
You should do a synopsis of me, synopsis of Elliot. So Elliot.
So Elliot was with us as.
So brand manager at Sykes Harley-Davidson. If you see any content, if you see podcasts as well, anything fancy, anything nice and shiny, that's generally done by me. I came from Image Design Custom previously, working with the guys up there. Before that, I was at Muckoff for just over 4 years, so worked in a few different places, and then got a good opportunity to join the guys down here. And we haven't looked back since, have we?
That's been really good. Yeah, it's been like you've been here for donkey's years.
Part of the woodwork, part of the ship, part of the crew. You're trying to put this interview on me, is that what it is? You don't want to waffle on anymore.
So I'm a waffler, sorry about that.
Waffles and tangents. That's what
Willis the waffler.
Yeah. So as far as the credentials, I mean, for anyone that comes to Sykes, you'll see there are tons of awards out in the showroom. You know, that there is, it's not just a case of sugar-coated prestige. There very much is, you know, a good caliber of what this place is. I mean, you see a lot of dealers out there say, world famous, stuff like that. But I like to think that Sykes is up there as far as recognised around the world, you know, for this beautiful little dealership nestled in the Sussex South Downs. So think about that before you say it. So as far as kind of Sykes in the year ahead, what can our customers or followers or listeners kind of expect from Sykes over the next few months?
Next few months.
What have we got? Are you going to ask me what we're doing?
I mean, we've got bike nights coming up in Eastbourne, so that's a big thing that I know. Obviously, you've been working with Eastbourne Council on that, so we've got full council backing. We take on the whole of the main strip leading up to the seafront, called Terminus Road. All restaurants and bars and closed road for motorcycles, maybe some custom cars, that sort of thing. So that's starting on the 17th of this month. Yeah,
so by the time this goes out, you would have missed the first one. Yeah. But third Wednesday in the month, every month through summer, all the way up to September. So if you don't want to come down, Eastbourne Bike Night, Terminus Road, 5 o'clock onwards, all bikes welcome. Just be sure to check on the Facebook page for all the event updates. Eastbourne Bike Night's easy enough to find. What else have we got on this?
So we're doing outside promotions as well. I mean, we constantly have our Sports of Saturdays, anniversary gigs. I mean, we just had a 120th open house, like a lot of dealers across the network. We've got a big summer party. I'm going to jump around on dates here because it's all coming to front of my mind. Big summer party on the 22nd of July here at the dealership, followed by a Fun Day Sunday. Our Fun Day Sundays, we always put a lot of energy in. We have friends of Sykes Harley-Davidson with us. It's just, we want to always create the best Sunday ever if we can. You know, it's not just doors are open and staff are just hanging out. It's like doors are open and it's a normal day, but pumped right up to the max sort of thing. So we want to have friends of Sykes Harley-Davidson with us. So when I say that, it's different vendors, different brands with us. So people, they're here and they see other things that interest them, because we want them just to hang out and have fun. That's what we're about. And we're lucky to have like a 2 acre plus site to accommodate that. Yeah. We still suffer from parking, even though we've got immense space, but we have overflow parking for Fun Day Sundays as well.
I mean, it's not a bad problem to have, right?
No.
To turn people away because the footfall's so good.
Yeah. So we got that coming on. Obviously, you're doing the Black Deer Festival in June.
Yeah, we are
with some of the team, which is a really cool Americana music festival.
Yeah, it's quintessentially Harley, isn't it? If you could find any festival event that fits well with Harley, I mean, Black Deer is definitely up there.
And that's at what park's that at? That's
that's a good question.
That's a good part. It's up by Frant, which is 20 minutes up the road from us, and it'll come to us in a minute. We go, but that's a really cool event. You have to pre-book tickets. I think it's kind of like the mini sort of
proper festival, isn't it? Yeah, so full
festival.
Americana, country and western, some great acts, and I think it'd be a good one for us. Eastbourne Bike Night. What else have we got?
Bike nights, outdoors promotion, summer parties, used bike events. So keep an eye on them. Yeah. Obviously, sometimes we go right this Saturday. Let's open the doors a bit wider. Let's have a used bike event, special events, demo days we'll be having as well, which is like obviously every day is a demo day, but we invite people reach out a bit further to see if we can bring any new riders in, any riders of other manufacturers in. And once they come in and they feel the vibe and they ride the bikes, which I think sell themselves, if you like, then it's all good. We're building the community.
So a big part of, just touching on used bikes, you go plenty
certified
of dealers out, H-D certified, approved used.
Yeah.
This place is a literal Aladdin's cave. For anyone that's never been here before, it's mind-blowing. Yeah. The amount of stock that we have here. So it's, we always sort of say the UK's largest stock of HD certified approved used bikes, but
we know we're right.
It really is. Last count, I think 2 weeks ago, was it 90 bikes in stock, including new?
Easy. Yeah.
And you're talking everything from Nightsters to Sport Glides to Fat Boys, Fat Bobs.
Yeah.
You name a bike, it's probably in the warehouse.
Well, we've always got our eye open to look and buy bikes. We go out and buy bikes. We just don't wait for them to come in as part exchanges or have them offered to us. So always keen to get a vast array, like you say, of bikes from Knightsters. At the moment, I can say like we got 3 CVO Street Glides in. We've got 2 S's in, as in actually 3. 2 Slim S's, which is 1800cc twin cab. We got the Fat Boy S as well. These bikes are rare. We got a Revival in. We got a Diablo in. We've probably got about 12 Fat Boys ranging from 2003, 2004, 2007 up to 2022. I expect actually in stock. Sportsters, Taurus, you name the families, Pan Americas. We've got them in stock because that's what people want. They want a selection. They want to see everything, and we try and offer that. And I like the fact that we really embrace the older models as well. When I say older models, I mean twin cams. We do sell Evos when we get them if they're right for us. Even sell shovels. We've done that shovel head the other day or two. So yeah, we have this big used bike park which is in our warehouse on the bottom of our site. New bikes. We have a good selection of new bikes because we're one of the premier dealers, so we get a good selection offered to us by Harley-Davidson, which is great. If you sell enough bikes, you get more bikes, which is what we always want, because we want, again, to be able to offer the wider range of Harley-Davidsons that are now available from the catalogue, sort of thing.
So good amount of choice of Harleys here, but what about your personal history of Harley ownership? I mean, what have you owned throughout the years?
Well, I can't say that I've had a massive amount of Harleys. I had many years ago a 1995 Sportster, which I put a wider yoke in the front and a 16-inch chubby old wheel. So it was pre-48. And if I didn't put big old City Apes that I put on it and I had just short bars, it would have been the 48, because it was quite a lot of work to make it sit on 16-inch front and rear with I think a 140 tyre in the front. It was quite chunky, but that was awesome. And I went to town like you do, and I did the whole Screaming Eagle 1200 package, and I did the coil, and I did the plugs and leads and cylinders and heads, and it would keep up with a Buell, but it would be very frightening to be at that speed next to a Buell, especially with the apes that I put on it. Then family comes along, so cash to spend, there wasn't any. You know? So family, and I'm still in the family thing. This family thing lasts a long time. It doesn't just stop. So not only have they grown into teenagers, I had no family when I started, and I've got an 18-year-old daughter, a nearly 60-year-old daughter, 11-year-old son. But there's cars to help fund. There's driving lessons. There's university. Like everyone else knows out there. I'm not.
Your money isn't your money anymore.
But the lucky thing I've got is a demo fleet that I can cherry pick one of the bikes from for a weekend, or I can even put a used certified Harley-Davidson on the road if needed and desired. So I am in a really envious position on that. So having money tied up isn't there at the moment, but I do want my own personal machine to customize and just have my little bits of DNA in it. So everyone likes to do something different, and I yearn for that. But the day will come.
So this is the thing, is like no one at home is going to see the fact that we've had to just chop and change, and that's always the thing. Like when I'm watching podcasts and things like that, and I'm like, how much editing has gone into this? Like how much have they actually done that? And it's like, it's all smoke and mirrors. And I mean, for anyone that like sees our YouTube channel, whenever I do the bike reviews and things like that, I'll always try and like add the bloopers in at the end. So maybe we'll keep a little bit in there just so people can see that we are human. We do try and do things professionally, but inevitably we're only human. So I mean, big thing for Harley this year. I mean, show the helmet in front of us there is 120 years of Harley Davidson. So we've seen some brand new models come out this year to celebrate 120 years. We've got the Homecoming as well, so Budapest and Milwaukee as well. So a big part of, I think, of celebrating 120 years of Harley. You're going to be going out at the Budapest, is that right?
Yeah, meant to be going to Budapest. We still haven't organised it yet. John, myself, and Craig are going to ride there. Going to do, I think, a lot of miles because we want to
a long old way.
Get there, party, get back.
Yeah.
Because there's, we need it at the mothership.
So you guys are going to ride out from here all together out to Budapest.
Yeah.
Celebrate homecoming and then come back again.
Yeah. I don't know what on yet. Maybe a demo bike, but I'd like something a bit more challenging, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be the ultimate bike to go out there on, do you think?
Again, I'd like to go out on the Springer.
Yeah.
Like twin cam Springer. And we have one. It's not online yet.
Is that keeping it on the back burner just so that no one buys it?
Maybe, yeah.
Well, maybe
put
Steve
Steve
Willis
Willis hide it in the corner every
that
weekend.
One's not for sale.
Oh, that
How
one.
much is that one?
Nah,
that's not for sale. Yeah, you don't want that one.
Yeah.
So as far as obviously bikes and everything, we like I say, we've got 120th anniversary models come out this year.
And we're in Milwaukee, aren't we?
Yeah,
Why are we in Milwaukee?
Why are we going to Milwaukee?
Well, John and Denise are going to...
We're not going to Milwaukee.
And Denise are accepting an award on behalf of the dealership.
They are indeed. So for anyone that didn't see, we've actually been recognised, world recognition from Harley, as in Harley in Milwaukee, as one of the best performing dealerships in the world.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. How many was there? Like 20 or 30, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there were, was it 2 in the UK?
Yeah, us and West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, shout out to West Coast. Yeah, I mean that's quite the credentials, and we always sort of joke, yes, world famous, but that is a world accolade, if anything.
Yeah, so they're having a VIP dealer evening with this award ceremony, if you like, and John and Denise are going over there to accept the reward. So I mean, we're well proud of that, and they're well proud, obviously, of what the team's achieved. So that's amazing.
That's a good trophy for the cabinet as well. I mean, UK dealer
we must get a cabinet.
We must get a cabinet. We need like a proper, who's got a good trophy cabinet? Tottenham have got a good trophy cabinet. Not that it's got much in it. Sorry to any Tottenham fans.
Yeah.
My old man's a Tottenham fan. And I made that joke when we went up to Tottenham because we went to watch the NFL.
But I guess we are, those things for the future we talk about. We've got planning, and we're going to do an extension on Sykes Harley-Davidson. Out the front, and we're going to do an extension out the back. We're going to do, which will lead, there's a lot of walls coming down and a lot of open space being created. So that's, I'm excited about that because we've been collecting some nostalgia over the years, which we can put on display. I'm looking at an old bicycle now. That Harley-Davidson blue one there.
Again, amidst the chaos that you guys
we'll show
can't
you one
see.
Though. But that's we've got things like old bicycles that Harley made that customers offered us way back, and
it is almost a museum here at times, isn't it? For everything that's tucked away, and you get some customers that go venture into the bits of the dealership they're not supposed to, but we still, let them
if
in.
anyone wants a magical mystery tour, just come and find me when they're down, and just say, "Can you show me around?" Because
no happy endings.
But we show them around, and it's always so interesting because we go behind the scenes. We go to workshop, show what's happening. We're quite doors wide open because people like the smell of fuel. They like seeing a bike that's broken down, ready to be customized and built back up. I mean, it's everyone's got that passion, haven't they?
They have indeed. So you touched then on the future of Sykes and Harley, and I think a big part of Harley at the moment and their future progression is in the Revolution Max engine, notably the Pan America. A lot of Harley purists may see it as a bit of a thorn in the side, but here at Sykes, we very much channeled the Pan America. We're advocates for it. We even have we've had Pan America breakfast clubs where we welcome people down, get all the Pan America owners together.
The syndicate.
We are working on the Pan America syndicate, which is sort of, are we officially allowed to say, or is it still secret club? Well, I mean, it's in the podcast now.
It's down to me and you to promote it, I guess. And we've got obviously our local clientele who ride Pans and everything. And
ownership here as well. A couple of staff members own
exactly, Big Craig and with the Pan America Club, we've to obviously do breakfast to encourage that community to grow because we've got green lanes around here and everything like that. But when we get round to it, because it's been so busy so far this year, we want to put that on a more national scale, Facebook pages and stuff like that, just so there's a community that's building. Because we do have people that ride quite a distance just to come to the Pan American.
Yeah, so we had our
Club.
first Pan America Breakfast Club last year, and what was it? The furthest guy came.
130 each way, or
Yeah.
150. Yeah,
It's a long old way for a bacon roll, isn't it?
it was. Yeah, but it's nice to see like-minded individuals on these bikes, and yeah, we're going to do ride outs and weekends. I mean, like at the Gun Brewery would be great for a Pan American meeting, wouldn't it?
That would be. They do a very nice beer there.
Yeah.
And as far as taking the Pan America as this entity kind of into the future, there's a big project that we're part of this year, heroed by Harley-Davidson UK, in and around Europe actually, a project which is called the Trailblazers. So Trailblazers, I think, has been, synonymous with Harley as a whole, very much like a pioneering brand. You look at the history, the heritage and things like that. And the Trailblazer project, again, for anybody that doesn't know, is effectively taking the Pan America and redesigning it, or just doing something a little bit different, a little bit crazy with it. And all of these bikes are actually going to be showcased in Budapest as well. So there are 10 dealerships in the UK, all of which competing against each other. We are building one in-house as well. I mean, it's, again, you don't want to show off too much, do you? It's kind of like, even for how soon this episode comes out, is that going to give someone enough time to go, oh, Sykes are doing this, maybe we should change this? Do we divulge, or do we wait for the next episode?
When's this episode coming out?
End of May, hopefully, if all goes to plan.
Well, they've got to leave, I think, June the 10th, haven't they?
They do indeed, yeah.
I mean, we're going full guns blazing. I mean, it's awakening the sleeping giant in a way, isn't it?
It is. And I think, for anyone, if you went and had a look at the state of the Pan America that we've currently got on the bench,
it's an engine.
It's an engine and a frame, pretty much, isn't it? And
a little bit of frame.
A little bit of frame.
A support, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's frame mounted, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So it's nothing.
So that's an exciting project. I mean, as far as Pan America as a whole, I mean, we are massive advocates for it here, aren't we? We it's a bike that we're very much passionate for, and I mean, it's exciting potential ahead as well to see sort of where that goes and what Harley as the brand are going to do with it. But I think we're always going to be the forefront of Pan America in the UK, so that's super exciting. So as far as for anyone that around, like what is the appeal for Sykes? For if I was your average Harley Davidson customer, why would I choose Sykes?
I think us being an independent Harley Davidson motorcycle store has so much to offer, as in terms of like we all are part of the same business. So what I'm trying to say is everyone who works in a team has ownership of the dealership, if that makes sense. It's kind of like there's that united front that everyone knows that they're responsible as a representing from like one of the guys in the valeting shop, one of the guys in the workshop, obviously the sales team who are seeing people the most, I guess, but everyone has a bit of ownership of Sykes and they're proud of it. And we've got this united team. We've got a team that's been here, I think well over 50% of the team's been here over a decade. It's a good fun place to work, but we still have the business mindset, as you said earlier. But what have we got to offer? The thing is, if you have a problem with a Harley, I'll sort it out, or John Sykes will sort it out. It's kind of like you can speak to the people that I guess make the big decisions. It's not faceless. You can walk in a store and see the owner on a Saturday. It's a great sort of advantage, I believe, having the ability to move in a direction that you want to, that you need to change, just like that, without having to present to a board of directors or say why you want to do something and have to get everything presented in a manner that they say, okay, I can see that might work, go ahead. We can make those decisions instantly. And I've always said, someone walking into a Harley Davidson store expects custom. I mean, I've been in the days of when American Chopper was on its peak, and people walking in and they were motivated and inspired by that program, and they wanted something similar. And I guess that back then the most similar thing was something like a night train, but we could understand what they wanted. And like I say, when you walk through the door, you expect custom, And that's what you'll get here. You know, if you want, what colour will they do? What colour's that fat boy come in? What colour do you want? You know, we're not just limited to the 5 colours in the brochure. You know, if someone wants to and is willing to pay the extra, they can have one in rainbow stripes. You know, it's totally up to. But we're that sort of engaged that we can be flexible for the customer and get them what they want. We're not just like, sorry, that colour.
So no is
they're
like
the handlebars they come
answer
with,
kind of thing.
Yeah, we don't know how to use the word no, and sometimes that's to our disadvantage.
Yeah.
We need to say no sometimes because we have, challenges.
Thriving on chaos, so that's the thing.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. But yeah, and yeah, we're proud of what we do, and I think that is recognisable from the customer level.
Yeah, and it resonates with customers. I think, you look at the 1066 chapter, you look at the Sykes reputation as a whole, and I mean, it's something that I've really seen in the short time that I've been here, is that Sykes goes far beyond these 4 walls. You know, there is impact out there. There's recognition for Sykes as a whole, and I think what you and the team have built over the years is a phenomenal force to be reckoned with in the sort of the Harley world. So I think definitely points to be proud of for sure.
Yeah, you just can't rest on your laurels.
No,
that's what I always tell myself.
You're an all right boss. That's
only as good as yesterday, aren't you?
Yeah. So as far as all the kind of boring stuff, I mean, everybody, it's not necessarily boring. I mean, you've not waffled on loads. I think there's been some good insight. So let's do something a little bit different. So this is a segment that I like to call Hog Master. For anyone at home that's familiar with Pop Master on BBC, is Pop Master still a thing on BBC Two?
Don't do this to me.
Right, we're going to see how well Steve...
Where's the answers?
Yeah, don't read my screen, by the way. So, Hogmaster, I'm going to give you 5 quick-fire questions based on varying Harley-Davidson facts, and we're going to see how well you scored. It's only 5 questions, but we will have a leaderboard through the episodes. We're going to find out who knows the most about Harley-Davidsons. Some easy questions, some harder questions, so let's see how we get on. We'll do the whole Hogmaster intro. Was it Ken Bruce that did it? I'm not putting a Scottish accent on. I can't do Scottish accent. I could probably do a Scottish. Anyway, see, I'm waffling now. I go off on tangents. Yeah. Right, so Hogmaster. I don't know if I'll be allowed to put the Pop Master music, but we'll maybe figure that out at some point. We get stamped for copyright. I don't know. Anyway, right, so Hogmaster quiz. Quick 5 questions. Question 1 for you, Mr. Steve Willis. What does CVO stand for?
Custom Vehicle Operations.
Correct. 1903 was the first year for Harley-Davidson. What year was the first ever V-twin introduced?
The V-twin. Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
I'm going to pass on that.
You can't pass.
Can I?
Well, you can, but you lose a point. You've got 5 points. Come on, have a guess.
1930.
1909.
Really?
Yeah, apparently so. I'll need to double check that. Yeah, can we? Okay,
can I just say 1909? Maybe you can put that.
Correct answer. Yeah, it's not that you said 1930 before, and
that's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's fine. You
Please
got
make it easier.
1 out of 2 so far. Question number 3: what Sportster model was introduced in 1986?
Sportster model 86.
You got an easy one to start, and then it's just
yeah. As in the model of it or the prefix of it, like.
That's a good question. I think that's. I mean, my question is
1986.
Yeah, what Sportster model was introduced in 1986?
XLH 883.
It was the Evo.
Oh, is that really?
See, you're making me question whether these are correct. So I'm going to have to go back and
the
Google.
Sports engine was the Evo engine in the Sportster range, wasn't it? So, but that's not a lot of people know that or need to know that. It's kind of Yeah, but
it's the Hogmaster quiz. Are you a Hogmaster if you can't get all of these questions right? So you got 1 out of 3 so far. Okay, we're not doing great. Question number 4, nice and easy. What is Harley's logo better known as?
The bar and shield.
That's correct. The bar and shield. So 2 for 2 or 2 for 4 even. Final question. In 2003, what did Harley-Davidson celebrate?
100th anniversary.
100th anniversary. Congratulations, Mr. Steve Willis. 3 questions out of 5 correct. So we will see
I
how.
think they were quite hard, those.
You're not going to get all easy
No.
questions. You're not going to get a walk in the park for every single guest as we go, though. Everyone's going to get similar, not the same questions, but we will test everybody's knowledge and we'll see if the questions are too obscure or are common knowledge. So for anyone
I
listening,
will remember those.
Yeah, he's going to remember now. For anyone at home, let us know what questions you want to see on the next one. We can always pull those out. We can ask our next guests as they come through. And I'll probably have to go and double check the answers to all of those because the puzzled look that you gave me makes me question whether I've got these correct or not. So that concludes our Hog Master section. There's no prizes, unfortunately. I mean, you can have half a can of Coke or a friendly handshake. I mean, something to that extent. So before we wrap things up, we're going to do, again, an ongoing thing, but this is a listener-voted battle. I want you to pick your ultimate Harley-Davidson. I, too, am going to pick my ultimate Harley-Davidson. I want you to give a sales pitch as to why you think that is the best Harley-Davidson. We will put that to the listeners. Any Harley-Davidson ever made, just... You got to sell it to the listeners why it is the better bike. I will do the same. We will pitch our sales to our lovely listeners. Okay. And then everybody at home, if you are listening, let us know which bike you prefer. We will tally up the results. We'll have a look next time and we'll see who has come out on top. So, what's your ultimate bike and why should the listeners vote for it?
CVO Fat Boy.
And why have you picked the CVO Fat Boy?
Because when... this is the ultimate CVO, I think. The CVO Fat Boy was, when it came out, like I'm just trying to think of, say 2005, custom paint to a super high level with the brushed scorch kind of steel within the paint. Came out in two rear end sizes, but it was the first, I think, to bring out the 200 in the rear. Fully chromed up, 1690cc engines at the time, which are the big bore kits, if you like. All the billet aircraft aluminium chromed. We're talking shifters, brake pedals, all the master and switch gear were chromed. I mean, I haven't got a chrome fetish, but chrome has its home, I think, on CVOs. Buckshot wheels it had. I think that was my favourite one with the buckshot wheels, which was the skinnier rear end, like a 150. Because then they went to the road winders, I think they're called, and they were the chrome ones, but they weren't solid. Anyway, the CVO Fat Boys are just like, they're Fat Boy. They've got narrow beach bars, 1.25 bars. They've got this seat that is leather and chrome. I mean, these are wow bikes, you know. You could get them obviously in the different colours, autumn hazes, yellow and blues, reds, and the frame were custom painted with the bike as well. So you could tell it was a super high end. Residual value, super strong. I mean, the 2005s, I think, if you have a clean one now, low mileage, well looked after, probably sell it for 16 grand plus. And I think, if I remember rightly, at the time, they're about 22. So, and that was like, how many years ago? 18 years ago.
That's not bad, eh?
Just an icon to what they do. I'm just waiting for Harley-Davidson. Hello, you out there? Wake up. To build the latest Milwaukee 8 platform and do a CVO on it, because that would be amazing. Yeah, and we'll see. I don't think it will happen. I mean, they seem to focus towards CVO Tours.
Yeah.
But the Softails, when they brought them out, that for me is the bike.
So my pick, whether it's going to be controversial or not, is the Lowrider ST, specifically the El Diablo.
Oh, really?
You
did get a bit obsessed with that.
I did get a little bit obsessed with that bike. I think, so for me, the Lowrider ST, phenomenal looking bike, West Coast styled. It looks aggressive. It's got that beautiful front fairing. You've got the vintage sort of heritage inspired drop H on the tank. Like it looks like every single decade of Harley-Davidson all put into one, but with that El Diablo paint job, specific colors for it. It looks absolutely phenomenal when out on the road. You've got a beautiful shimmer to that paint job, limited edition numbers worldwide. It just looks great. I'm a massive fan of the Lowrider ST as it was. Big fan of the Vivid Black. I think you can't go wrong with an ST in Vivid Black, but that El Diablo paint was...
What about the new Rocket John? Is it Rocket Johnny's?
We shouldn't... Fast Johnny.
Fast Johnny, that's it.
So that came out this week. So for anyone listening, a little bit delayed, the Fast Johnny ST.
That's got amazing looking bike.
It is a good looking bike as well.
And it's I think is a price tag on the ST $2,000 more, which I think is great value for money, knowing how much custom paint.
Yeah, you think limited edition on an already fantastic bike, I think is a great selling point, because you know that silhouette of the ST is a great looking bike, but the fact that they're introducing different variants, the enthusiast model, with the Fast Johnny, it goes to show that is a cracking bike.
Yeah.
And you know, the fact that they're doing more STs than they're doing the bike that you're picked, maybe that's why. But anyway, so there you go, sales pitch for two different bikes there. Yeah, I mean, we've got to be sassy. It's me versus you. So let us know at home if you're listening. You know, email us, send us a postcard, pigeon, whatever it is, whatever your chosen methods of communications are these days. Let us know which bike you think would be the most preferred out of those two.
The customer was telling me that Matt Laylor, who everyone knows, mega YouTuber, American, got their own store. He was doing the top 10 bikes, I think, ever. And I think he put number one as the Road Glide CVO, but in the gunship grey.
It is a nice colour.
Yeah. Again, the Americans got a real following for tours, but he was right. You don't see many of these. That's the thing with Harleys. When they bring out the limiteds, and when they bring out the icons, the enthusiasts and all the ranges like that, you tend not to see a lot around, do you? It's like they do sort of.
And I think that where the selling point for me with the El Diablo was, it's like you might see other lowrider STs out there, but you ain't going to see that many El Diablos.
Yeah.
Like great looking bikes for the UK. So
yeah.
Well, that about wraps things up. We'll have to wait and see, because we haven't got any votes yet, because this is our first episode, so we don't know. We'll put it out there.
We don't know if anyone will watch.
we don't even know. We'll probably get one vote in, and it'll probably be me voting for me and you voting for you. But anyway, well, that's going to about wrap things up for the first episode. God, I'm tripping over my words here. Do you think it's the nerves of having a microphone shoved in my face?
Yeah.
So, that wraps up. It's like I've not done this before.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. That about wraps things up. So I've got a script in front of me, but I can't read it for some reason. I need glasses. Do I need glasses? I can't tell if I read that. Anyway, I divulge waffle. You're putting the waffle on me.
Yeah, sorry. Waffle is contagious.
Waffle is contagious. So, to conclude, that about wraps things up for the first ever episode of the Knuckle Ups podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to Mr. Steve Willis for being the first ever guest and allowing us to use your office as our recording space. As mentioned, the Knuckles Up podcast drops new episodes on the last Friday of the month. You can watch and subscribe over on the Sykes H-D YouTube channel and listen to wherever you get your podcasts. You can find us at sykeshd.com. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, across other social media platforms. So thank you again, everybody, for listening. I've been Elliot. I'm not doing very well with this, am I? We can't even finish. It's going to be like an hour of just me waffling on to actually say, right, this is the end of the episode. So thank you, everybody, for again listening. I've been Elliot from Sykes Harley-Davidson. This has been Mr. Steve Willis, and we will see you in the next episode.
Thank you.